Jesus, please help us to focus our mind on you, our thoughts, and help to remove all the distractions so that we can get closer to you. And help to remove all the distractions so that we can get even closer to you. Help us to prioritize things better, and please help to regulate our emotions when things become more difficult. Amen. Jesus, please share your heart with us. Oh, Dominique, this has been a rough few weeks for you, hasn't it? Yes, it has, Lord. So many changes, but I'm making it through with your strength, of course. I'm so sorry we haven't had an official sit down. I felt the effects of not having this time. I'm really struggling with being consistent in this area. Please forgive me, Jesus. I have forgiven you, my love, and as I tell you, there is much you miss when we don't have this time in the morning. Once it gets in the day, you have responsibilities that prevent you from sitting still, and that is why you must sacrifice sleep for us to have more intimate time together. This is necessary for your life especially, but it may be different for others. Please do better with this. Don't listen to your flesh when it tells you you're too tired to get up in the morning, no matter how many hours of sleep you had the night before. If your true desire is to get up and not get more rest, which it often is, you will have no issue with getting up. You have to start your responsibilities now, so please seek me this evening before you go to sleep. I returned later. I'm here, Jesus. Thank you for being so patient with me. Thank you for returning, my love. I'm happy that you're giving me this time. Time is running out rapidly, Dominique. There isn't much of it left, but there is still so much that has to take place before that time runs out. How much time are we talking here, Jesus? I'm not privy to that exact information. Only the Father is. But I know that it's drawing very short. So many have not done their fair share of seeking me, doing my business on this earth. So many are consumed with their own cares and goals and neglect the goals I have for them. So many think that they have so much time to get it right, and they spend their whole lives procrastinating. I want them to understand that they don't have as much time as they believe they have. I want my children to know who I am, and I want them to understand my heart and my will for their lives. You don't have forever, my children. Calamity is striking all around you. At this point, I saw a vision of a terrible earthquake, and the ground completely crumbled down. So many people fell into the ground. Jesus continued, "This is what's happening in so many hearts. The ground beneath them is shattering because they have not put me as their firm foundation." Dominique, I see you wondering if you haven't had me as your foundation. Yes, you have been very distracted with much lately, and it's been harder to get time with you. But I know that your foundation is in me, my dear. Don't worry. You have a long way to go and much to improve on, but you are not in as deep water as you believe you are. Please stop internalizing things, my love. It truly halts you in your tracks. I'm so sorry, Lord. You've definitely read me like a book. I hate being so far in my head. I know you've spoken to me about this for so long, and I'm still struggling. Guess what? Yes, Jesus, I still love you anyway, and it will never change. The only time you feel things are shattering around you is when you've taken your eyes off of me and focused too heavily on what's going on in the material, which you have been prone to do lately. That's why I'm drawing you and all of my children closer. When you focus too much on your material lives, you become completely disheveled, and this is done on purpose. You will never feel aligned unless you're aligned with me. You weren't created to stand alone, as so many of you choose to and desire to be. You were meant to walk alongside me from the womb to the grave, and forever after that. The road is awfully hard to tread when you don't know the correct way to go and what obstacles you should avoid. as opposed to the ones you're meant to go through. I've specifically laid them out for you, and all I ask is that you follow me for the correct instructions. The moment you go alone is when you get lost, and the ground beneath you shatters, and you get swallowed by your own pride. Stop trying to do this life alone, and recognize that no matter what place you're in, even if you're on the outskirts of hell, if you truly desire to be free and to be with me, I will rescue you. It's my honor to do so because I love you so much. I eagerly wait when you ask me sincerely to rescue you because I get to be close to you again, my loves. You are truly precious to me, more than all of the stars in the sky and all of the galaxies and universes I created. I would erase them all just for the chance to be next to my children that truly want me by their side. You don't understand the depth of my love, but you will one day, once you decide that you want to spend eternity with me. Dominique has had a vision of the heavenly feast, and I told her that she has an invitation. And so do many of you, my children. Your names are already placed at your seats. The table decor is already set up. I'm just waiting for you. I'm waiting to serve you and to love you oh so deeply. I'm waiting to embrace you in my arms. I want you to envision yourself here with me. Envision yourselves in this glorious place with no more pain, suffering, cares, worries, fears, just love, bliss, joy, peace, happiness, and so much more. There's a purpose for your pain and suffering now, but in heaven, all of those things have passed away. The only way you won't enter my kingdom is if you choose to not be a part of it. It's really that simple. I do not go against your free will, so it's up to you. Do you truly want to spend eternity with me? If so, it's yours. I only ask that you persevere through this life with the little time you have remaining, my children. Store up your treasures in heaven, not this earth. Let go of your worldly pursuits and dreams because they will be non-existent. Don't look for respect and esteem from anyone but me. No other person is deserving because they are just as broken and needy as you are, no matter how they present themselves. Love one another as I have and still love you. Deny yourselves what you know is unnecessary and sacrifice all that you can to overcome your flesh. Live humbly and never lavishly. Give as I lead you to. Follow these simple commands and you will have found favor with me, my children. So many of you have achieved many of these things already, but now it's time for you to help build the foundation for those that will come after you. I am leading you in this. Heed my voice and instruction. Make better use of your time and live every day as if it's your last, because one day it will be. And that was the end of Jesus' message. That was a really beautiful message, and it was definitely something that I needed, and I'm sure many of you need it after hearing that. Just thinking about what it will be like in heaven and going to the wedding feast, being there with Jesus, with all of the clouds of witnesses and the saints and just everyone that we have grown up to know, that we've read about in the Word of God, those who've come before us. It's so amazing to think about it. And it's amazing to think about seeing Jesus face to face. And that is what Jesus wants us to hold on to. It's just the thought of being with him one day. And all he wants is for us to persevere on earth. And I don't know about you, but that gives me hope. That helps me to keep going, even when I feel like I want to give up. When I feel like I want to throw in a towel, which I do a lot. I feel that a lot. It's so much heaviness that I feel about a lot of different things. About myself, about the world. And I'm sure you do too. And with this message, Jesus is really just caressing our hearts. And he's showing us what we have to look forward to. But we have to complete this life that he's given us right now. And we have to persevere, and we have to give our all to Jesus, Give our lives to Jesus. Give our hearts, our minds, every aspect of ourselves to him. And we will be there with him. The only reason we wouldn't be there is if we choose to not spend eternity with him. It's up to us. He gives us that choice. If you want to be with Jesus, you will be. But you have to persevere. You have to go through trials and sufferings for his sake. So keep going. If you've been feeling down and weary, I pray that this message gives you the strength to keep going and to know that Jesus understands what you're going through. He understands what you feel more than anybody else. And he is there to comfort you. And he will give you strength to keep moving forward when you feel like you can't. Don't rely on your own strength, but rely on the strength of Jesus, because he is truly the only one that can carry those burdens that we have put on our own backs, that we're struggling to walk around with. He can carry those burdens. Now, there are some burdens he does call us to carry, and he will give us the strength and the grace to do that. But he's just asking for us to trust in him, to not give up, to keep going, and to look ahead to what we have in store, waiting on us in heaven. Nothing on this earth can sustain us and give us true happiness. You may feel like you're happy right now on earth, no matter where you are, no matter what walk of life you're in. If you're living good, you may think that this is the best thing in the world. Nothing can get better than this. But I'm here to tell you that all of that will pass away. All of the worldly things that you have, the materials that you have, the accomplishments that you have, it doesn't matter if you don't have Jesus. It doesn't matter if you haven't given your life to him. So don't think about the worldly things that you can attain, but think about the heavenly things that God has in store for you when you open up your heart to him. And this is what he's asking of us. As always on this channel, Jesus is really showing his heart to us, and he's showing us how to get closer to his heart, how to get to know him better, how to become more intimate, how to receive more insight spiritually. I'm not better than you all. I have just decided to yield to Jesus and realize that I can't do this life without him. So he's chosen to speak through me so that you all, as you're listening and coming to this channel, you can seek him all the more and hear from him just as I hear from him. So I'm not here as a perfect person who has it all together. As you can hear, I make so many mistakes, and Jesus constantly has to call me out on the mistakes that I make, and he corrects me lovingly, and he leads me back to his heart, and he wants to do the same for you. You can hear him if you truly want to hear him. The only time we don't hear God is if we don't want to, is if we shut him out, but he's always speaking. He's speaking to every single one of us. The question is, are we listening? So I pray that this message encourages you to seek God all the more. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless you.